cruising in boats. Tonight we have Jeff and Clif Skoda, who are going to talk to us about cruising in Florida and taking advantage of the FCYC. They have many years of experience, starting with a 30-foot Sea Ray, where they used to cruise out on day trips to the Channel Islands. And after they were burned out of SoCal, they went on their boat named Burnout, a 50-foot Chris Craft on the Loop. And currently they have reconditioned and are cruising in a 65-foot Sea Ranger with twin 750 horsepower diesels and can cruise at 10 knots. So they have lots of experience in jumping between harbors and maintaining big boats. And with that, turn the floor over.
That concludes the presentation.
Well, I'm happy that everyone joined us this evening. Both Jeff and I did the East Coast on our own in July. We spent 37 days doing that. And then the fall cruise always happens in November in Dom Swadek. Here we are at Naples. It took us 6 hours, I should say.
Yeah.
No, 9 hours for 94 nautical miles all the way to Naples. We got there late in the afternoon, and they were closed on Wednesday, so we were unable to partake of their dining facilities. We always do try to do that. They have a lovely club. Here we are the next day. We headed out from Naples to St. Charles, 44 miles. Was a great day, relatively smooth water, and that's where we met up with Ann and Jack, who were at St. Charles, another one of our groups, on their boat Dance Barefoot. We had a lovely evening at the bar, and then we had to leave the next day and headed out to South Seas. South Seas, Tom joined us, Tom and Sue. They had just flown in from New York, right?
Arizona.
Oh, that's right.
In Mexico.
You just went to that. They were in Mexico. So they had to leave Marathon in the morning and meet us in South Seas in the afternoon. Did they do it? 45 miles an hour. As he was speeding along, unfortunately, he lost a blade on his prop.
Oh no.
So he had to stay with us one extra day at South Seas. While we were at South Seas, we joined with Len and Liz Zyke, who are members also of Marathon, on their boat, and we met our new members from Marathon, Rita and Rod Bearden. We spent a lovely afternoon and cocktails on their boat, and then went out for a dinner. South Seas, unfortunately, half of it was closed due to the hurricane, but we can always enjoy the beach. The next evening, they joined us on our boat, and we had the potluck that we always have on all our cruises. So we had a lot of people. So at that point, we had already seen 3 boats. As we were leaving, I forgot to mention the miserable mile. As we were leaving St. Charles, all those boats were chasing us, trying to get to the beach. They have, it was a Saturday, beautiful day, so of course you could expect them there. And they're just zipping all over, going in and out. And we just kind of tried to stay right in the middle. A great driver. After we were at South Seas, we left and we tried to get to Sarasota. As we were going through, we went all the way, the bridge the power was out. We had to go through all bridges, so we couldn't get under. Bridge was out. They said, it'll be back tomorrow morning. So we backed out and went to Boca Grande. Okay, we spent the afternoon at 48 degrees. It was lovely. But it was fun. We had a great time. Next morning, we called, how's the bridge? They said, well, they're working on it, but we're going to open at 9 for anyone who has to get out. We jumped, stopped the breakfast, got everything electric on, get to the bridge, 8:45, guys, yep, we're going to let you in at 9. 5 minutes later, the guy said, oh, sorry, I was misinformed. We're not opening until 11 p.m. on Wednesday.
Oh, boy.
So we had to turn back around. We did try to go outside. But again, inside, 4-foot waves. I told Jeff, no, I can't. I already went through it once, sorry. So we went back to Boca Grande. They did house us. And then they said, but you have to leave tomorrow because we have another group coming in. But we had a lovely time, went to the Pink Elephant, had a lovely dinner. And then we are moving on to Sarasota. Here we are. There's the Sarasota Yacht Club. Because we were at Boca Grande, we could only stay one night, but we did eat. We tried to stay 2 nights at every location because you get the first night free for FCYC. So you want to give them some revenue. So we try to eat at least once or not both nights. So we were at Sarasota and had a lovely evening. Now Sarasota is going to celebrate their 100th anniversary. And I thought that was a good idea because Marathon Yacht Club is celebrating their 75th anniversary come March. So I thought, okay, let me steal some ideas.
Yeah.
They planned the whole year, and they had it all out. So that was an interesting thing that we learned at Sarasota. Here we have the Tom and Sue boat heading out to, after Sarasota, Paso Grill. St. Petersburg now has 3 locations. They have their main location at St. Petersburg, then they have a small little marina at Paso Grill and Schnell Marina. So we spent the evening at Paso Grill having dinner there.
Is that where you had your boat then? You kept your boat there too then?
Yes. The main purpose of here was getting to Clearwater, where we had the FCYC general meeting. We were there for 3 days. On Saturday, they had a marine, we went to the Clearwater Marine Aquarium. And that is Dr. Kelly McAdams, who is the director. She gave a presentation during the general meeting on Saturday, and they encourage anyone who comes to these FCYC meetings to come to the program, not just the director. They encourage spouses and everything. So we went there, and then we toured. This is where Winter, the dolphin that lost his tail, and there's the movie called Dolphin Tale. This is where he was rehabbed at that. So they are 100% rehab situation for all animals. They have the turtles, dolphins, and otter. I was very surprised that they have otters in the area. They had snakes also, but we didn't go to the snakes. We had a lovely day.
Keep the snakes.
Then the whole evening was the evening dinner. Marathon Yacht Club got the award for the boats that came the farthest and the club that brought the most boats. So we got 2 awards for that.
You had 2 boats?
2 boats. 2 boats. But you know what? If you see how far up it is,
I know, how far up it is.
they don't come. But although I'm surprised because West Coast, they're all right there. But we'll take the prize, no problem. So, and then afterwards I had dancing, and Sue just jumped right in and played the bongos when the band player went to get a drink. Well, she went on and she was great. She kept to the beat and everything. She had it was a wonderful time. We were there 3 days. Final day, we did have to Uber up to Tarpon Springs to go and have a great dinner. So it was fun. And then we went on to the main St. Petersburg Yacht Club. At that point, they have all new docks. It was, we were there for 2 days. We ate there both days. Had a wonderful time. People were very friendly. That's the most important thing. When we have people here, we like to greet them, and we were very graciously greeted at many of the clubs.
Did they put in floating docks?
I'm sorry?
Floating docks? I remember how hard it was getting off the boats there.
Tom, you had a good time on this dock, right? It was floating.
Everybody did.
Yeah,
Couldn't get on.
it was floating docks.
Oh, here we are.
Then we had the pleasure of having the SWATX join us in Venice. They couldn't come because they had transmission issues, but as soon as they were fixed, they came and joined us in Venice for 2 days. All right. After Venice, we ventured down to the Pink Shell. I'm sorry, I forgot. In South Seas, we had 3 boats, and then a 4th boat joined us. Jim Tull, who is a member here, was cruising with his St. Petersburg Yacht Club. They're cruisers, and he was there. He saw us. He took his burgee off and put the marathon burgee on while we were there. So we had 4 boats at that location. This trip, we ended up having, throughout the cruise, at any one point, 8 boats, which was a lovely time.
Wow.
Pink Shell at the resort, we hosted a dinner for 15. 2 of our new members, Chris and Joanne Dill, said, "Do you mind if we join you?" No, come on. Same with Rita and Rod Bearden. They met us at South Seas. We said we were headed to Pink Shell, and they said, "Oh, we'd love to join you. Come on." So we did, had a lovely evening there. Last night, we hosted the potluck again on the mothership. Everyone hopefully had a great time. And while we were at Pink Shell, they had the sand sculpting competition that Ann and I went to. This was my favorite piece.
Yeah, that is.
It's so detailed.
Amazing.
And then off to Marco in our final yacht club. And it was a long trip, but we had a lovely time. Had to say goodbye. Now, when we were at the aquarium, I could not get pictures of the dolphins, so I had to throw one in. We had a dolphin show right next to us half the time, flipping and having a great time. And then we made the long journey from Marco back to Marathon. But you'll see a red spot right here. We lost an engine. So we're like, okay, so we went from 10 knots to 6 knots. So we had planned to get into Marathon about 4 o'clock.
And
We had to limp on home in the pitch dark. We got in at 7:30, but safe and sound. It was a wonderful trip. We were happy to have Jack and Ann join us, Don D and all their family joined us at Pink Shell. Sorry, Bonnie wasn't feeling good. Bonnie and Loyal usually come with us.
Loyal
We
was
missed you.
hunting.
Oh, that.
I just said to him, no more hunting.
Yeah.
I
I said to her, no
He
more
deserted
cigarettes.
us. He deserted us. And that's the joys of belonging to the FCYC. You can go to all these different places, meet new people. And our next presentation is all about FCYC privileges.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions about the trip in general?
Yeah, what happened to your engine?
Yeah.
Just got airlock. I sucked up some air and I couldn't get the vacuum out. So when I got back here, fixed it and we're all good. So it's just, it has 5 tanks, and when you're transferring fuel from one to another, I must have let it suck some air up. And on the old diesels, once you get air in your fuel line, it's not good. So anyway, but that's what they say. That's why they give you 2 engines. So we had that, but as everyone knows here, our boaters, there's always something going on. Don was shocked when his transmission went out, going right from the boatyard, but he hustled to get up there, and we appreciate him and the family joining us. It was a good time. Tom and Sue were real troopers, jet lagged, came up, did their deal, and they stuck with us even though they could zip around and go under bridges and do whatever. They stuck with us through Boca Grande, and we had a great time with them. And Sue's a little bit of a spark plug. She gets it from Tom. Right, Tom? I mean, you encourage her.
It's rubbing off on her.
Anyway, I want to talk to you about one of my favorite subjects, the FCYC privileges. It's a privilege that you get with your full membership, that you can go to 35 other sister clubs. And maybe 10% of the membership currently uses it in any way, shape, or form. Can I do a quick poll? Has anyone been to a club in the last year?
Not my boat.
Okay, so you were there.
Carl Reed?
You were there.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
let's
you were there for
You got your
FCYC.
award.
But, we all travel up and down Florida, and we drive right by all these clubs. And it's a real shame that we don't visit them more often. So, the FCYC was formed with the main purpose of reciprocity between clubs. There was originally 13 clubs that got together. They were all in the Tampa Bay area, basically at the time. They went as far south as Naples Yacht Club. And it expanded up to 36 at one point, and now we're down to 35 clubs. But regardless of that, you'll see on the next slide, there's a map of where all these clubs are located. And again, you're driving by them, and the reciprocity is by land or by water. It's not, you have to go there, get your free night, and that's the best way to do it. But if you can go there by car and have lunch, I think Clif and I are up to 30 of the 35 clubs right now. And about 27 have been by boat, and 3 of them are car only. So, so here's a pretty good layout. You can see even up in the Panhandle, we have 3 clubs up there. We've Eddie, we've got a few up toward you there that are within striking distance. And then, of course, as you come back and forth down to Marathon, you're going to pass a lot of clubs. And they're excellent clubs. You have, some of these clubs have a initiation fee now of $150,000. And you can go to these clubs and be treated like a member. So you're really leaving a tremendous privilege on the table if you don't take advantage of it. This is the cover sheet and the first page inside the cover of the guide to all the clubs. All right. It tells you everything you need to know about that club. So each club, in this case I'm showing Coral Reef, which is Coconut Grove. It'll tell you what you need to do at the dining, what they're looking for in the way of reciprocity identification, the dress codes. I will warn you that some of the more exclusive clubs require jackets and that, so make sure you know ahead of time. Marathon Yacht Club is known as the laid-back club throughout all of FCYC. So don't think when you go to Naples Yacht Club that you can walk in the same way as you walk into Marathon Yacht Club. They won't let you in. Now, the reciprocity, the rule on that is they're to treat you exactly the same way they treat every other member. So if they have space for dinner and you call up for a reservation, you're supposed to be able to have that seat, etc. It also means that they won't let you violate any rules that they won't let their members violate. So please be aware of that. This is another part of the FCYC for the boaters. This is the boating log, and Clif has a bunch of them printed out. And what I suggest to all of you that boat, take the packet that Clif will give you and leave it on your boat. And when you show up to a club, you just have them sign it. And then at the end of the year, you turn it into me. And if you've visited more than 7 clubs, you're up for a Founders Award. And then if you visit the most clubs or travel the most miles to clubs, like the Richardsons have done in the past many times, it's between them and the Browns. They were the ones from here that every other year it seemed to be a battle between them, but they were usually in the 20 plus clubs visited a year. And then you get a special award for that. There's a little mileage calculator that's included in that packet. I'm going to switch over here now. Where can you find out more about the FCYC? Most of the folks here probably don't know that all this information is on your website. You go up into documents. There we go. You have the FCYC area up here, so you can see the cruiser's log. But the most important one for all you folks is the reciprocal club guide. That's the one that I just showed you the first couple of pages of. as you can see, or maybe you can't, it's 78 pages long. It has all the information you want to know. It'll give you the dock master's phone number. It'll give you reservation phone number. It'll tell you as much information as you could possibly want. I know Don always travels with a printed copy on his boat, so when he's trying to make reservations and organize these trips, he's got it set up for that. But this is just a fantastic tool to have on your boat. I keep it electronically on my laptop, but that's what I am doing. So the next general meeting is going to be at Coral Reef, January 16th and 17th. And all these meetings and the packets are posted on the Florida Council of Yacht Club's website, so you can see it there. But I see quite a few familiar faces here that have been to the FCYC meetings. The directors are the only ones that are required to go to the meeting part of the weekend. But they put together a fabulous Friday night, and then there's always an event, like in the case of the aquarium where Clif and some of the others went, and then there's always a guest speaker. And all that is going to be listed in the packet. I'll pull up the packet. So this is, if you've never been to the website, this is what the website looks like when you pull it up, and they rotate through all the different clubs. So if you ever want to see what all the different clubs look like, you can see there's some pretty impressive clubs, and there's some quote average clubs as well. But we've always had a good time at all of them. Now, on the front page here, if you scroll down, you can see down here, general meeting documents. There's Coral Reef Yacht Club meeting packet. So when you click on that, it's going to download. It doesn't open up on the website. And so I've already downloaded it. And I thought I did. I'll just go back to it and download it. Okay, so this is this coming packet. Kind of scroll through it. This is typical of every packet. Marathon put one out when we hosted it a year ago, or 18 months now, I guess. But it has all the information you're going to need. There'll be a letter from the Commodore. There's usually some history. In this case, they put all the officers on there. They show you some photos of the dining rooms and what you can expect and what the rules are. A lot of these places have 2 or 3 different restaurants, which is nice. So especially for the boaters, if you're coming in and you really don't want to get all dressed up, you can go to a nice restaurant but, you know, you can wear short pants and a collared shirt and have a good time. In the case of this one here, they're under marina dockage, they've eliminated for this meeting, they don't have any transient dockage, so none of us can go by boat to the FCYC meeting and stay at Coral Reef. Typically, they'll have space, but they haven't. As you can see, they list a few other places that you can dock if you want. And then they give you directions by water, and then the accommodations. If anyone's interested, the Hampton Inn at the bottom there is a killer rate for this time of year. That's usually a $300 a night hotel. So if you're interested, please see me and we'll make sure you get registered. And then you have your registration forms where you sign up for which events you want to go to. So currently there's a $55 cap on dinner. In March it goes to $65 and $45 on Friday night is the cap. So those are controlled by the FCYC. Saturday night dinners are all surf and turf. And they're all excellent, and they all try and outdo one another. Those of you that didn't go to the moorings, they set the new standard. General manager didn't want to keep track of liquor, so he said open bar all weekend. I know that wouldn't affect any of you here. You know, because how many Diet Cokes can you drink, Eddie? I mean, there's only so many.
And not good for you anyway. You know.
That's right, it's scuffle. But, you know, so they're great. And then you can see here's the general layout for this one. They have the cocktails at 6, dinner at 7, and it's typically on Friday night, it's a buffet. But you can see they'll list the menu ahead of time, so you know they're very good at working with you on any allergies or needs you have for your meals. And you know, so that's the next meeting. The one after that's in Venice, and that is that's it. Yes.
They give an award for the most members that show up to a meeting, and this is the closest club to Marathon. So we would love to have a lot of people join us.
We got it at Key Biscayne.
Yeah, we won it at Key Biscayne, so we
Yes.
had, I believe the
Yeah.
elders were there.
Yeah, we
Boyle
had 14.
didn't behave himself. Bonnie was good though. Of course, Carol and Dave were there as well. Ray and Stephanie, we were there. Tom and Sue,
We had 14.
John and Dee. It was a great.
Bill and
trip.
Kathy Warner.
Yeah, Bill and Kathy Warner. So they're a lot of fun. Jack and Ann have been to several of these, as well as Jan and Ed. So are there any questions about how to utilize your benefit? Your membership card, they're going to ask you for, I gotta get a new one because mine's worn out, but if you don't have one of these, make sure you see Cass to get one ordered, because they will ask you for your identification to prove that you're from Marathon Yacht Club. So, the other thing, when visiting these clubs, always call ahead, even if it's a half hour before you get there for dinner, just so they have a heads up that they can tell you if there's a special event going on that night or something else. It's just to make your trip a lot more smooth and enjoyable while you're there. Yes, sir.
Well, there seems to be some differences between the clubs as to how you can pay for your meal while you're there. You might want to touch on that.
Yeah, you can, you can usually pay by credit card if you want. If you want to just charge it back to the club like 99% due, then they have to accept that. If you come in on a Sunday, if they happen to be open for Sunday brunch, and they have no idea if you're a member in good standing, and they can't contact our office, they might request you pay by credit card. But I've been on a ton of these different committees, and that's the one thing we pounded away. So the clubs that aren't, in the past, that weren't accepting the bill back and requesting credit cards, hopefully are straightened out now. Because that was an issue. I can tell you, as at Sarasota, you know, I charged $3,200 worth of gas. Not gas, diesel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have we exchanged burgees with all of these clubs, or are there some that we should try to do that with?
They have,
We don't.
all of them have our birches.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
we don't.
We don't have theirs?
We have theirs to fly,
okay,
yes.
good.
And the only other thing I would request of all of you is when you see a visiting FCYC member or even another yacht club member, if you don't know who they are, go up to them, say hi. I can tell you they always treat Clif and I excellent when we're at these other clubs. And, you know, we ran into, I forgot the lady's name from Venice. She was at FCYC, and Tom and Sue hit it off with her, and they said, well, we're going to be coming down. Maria, we're going to be coming down to Venice. And she made a special trip over to greet us at the yacht club while we were having dinner there. So those are the type of relationships that you can build as you travel around and meet these folks, because they're just like you. They love boats and being on the water. So, any other questions? I'll take that as a no, Duke. All right.
Well, thank you, Cliff and Jeff. Great, and we're going to try to continue this series on January 6th at 4:30. Georgie Sage will be talking about her cruising, I believe all the way down to the Panama Canal. So please come again then, and thank you all for attending. This is great attendance.